Hello everybody, this is Ramsis.
And I'm TheVespor.
And we're here to bring you another episode of Back in Time. Episode number 23. Where we take a look at something from the past that we still enjoy to this day. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as we bring you many more of these Back in Times in the future. Today's subject will be 1970s Jingle commercials, Part 2. That's right, we're back to the 70s, that groovy rockin' time with the disco, Jaws, and Grease. We're far from done. There are so many more of these to look back on when it comes to commercial jingles from that era.
Actually, from what you're describing to me, it sounds like it's just filled with food and teeth. So now, we're going to take a look at another set of fun 70s jingles because you like the ones from before, you're definitely going to love the ones from this time because I have personally picked on this one some of the best jingles that may or may not have a subtle message involved.
I didn't see these, folks, so again, I'm going in blind and I hate when he does this, but he is the boss here. This is Vesper's Retro Reviews, so he said, Ramsis, you like the 70s? I've got the 70s for you, and you're going to remember these 70s commercials very clearly. That's what he told me.
So, that being said, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. So, Ramses, start it up
let's see what we got here. And we're heading to 1977. All right, and what's this one called? Coke Adds Life. Let's see what jingle they use to say Coke Adds Life. Here we go, folks.
That's right, folks. We're going to start putting the message together that I'm putting out there from the 70s with some life. So,
all right, let's see what we got.
Coke adds life, it's got the taste and the feeling you like. Coca-Cola, come on girl, gotta share a Coke with you. Let the feeling through, you wanna live a little bit more. That's what the taste of Coke is for. Coke adds life, everybody wants a little life. Coca-Cola, Coke adds life.
All right, so Coke Adds Life. Oh, I get it. So they're dating, they're getting together, they're all enjoying the Coke here. So it's a lot of young people that are drinking Coke, but enjoying the fonder things of life together. I see what's going on here. I see the message you're trying to build here.
Oh yeah, this is just the first, but I'm glad you've seen it so far.
Look at how memorable and enjoyable these jingles were. They're driving an old, like Archie's car from, remember the Archie comic books? That's the type of car he drove. The guy has the gigantic hamburger, and the friend's like, no. And then he's like, oh, I'm just going to start dating rather. So yeah, it's all over the place. I don't get how this sells Coke, but they look like they're having a good time. Is it like a frat party or something going on here?
Oh, absolutely. It's all about Coke, good times, food, and wieners, as you saw on the side of that bus.
That's not even an important part of the commercial, but okay, if you want to mention
yes, it's not an important part of anything.
Oh, that's best for folks. All right, so I like the jingle. I like where it's going. It's catchy. It's memorable. You know, it has that upbeat, nice late 70s sound to it. You can definitely tell when something's early 70s, late 70s. It's not disco, but it's that upbeat tempo that you start to hear in a lot of the songs at this time period.
Oh, absolutely. It's got a nice, fun beat. You can have a good time watching this, and it really is something to remember. I mean, after all these commercials, especially jingles, is to get stuck in your head. So when you're walking down the street, you just start singing it, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I need a Coke.
I like how they're all holding a cup, so they had to go to a restaurant or something to like buy these cups, yet the guy walking out of the restaurant has a 1 liter like glass bottle in his hand. Where are they getting all the Cokes from is what I'm wondering.
Oh, it's obvious. There's probably a street vendor down the road we didn't see.
Oh, well that makes sense. Alright, so it's a good start, Vester. Alright, so far that's a fun jingle.
And we're going to keep building up with my theme with this wonderful and next commercial.
Alright, so we're heading back into the beginning of the decade, and we have, oh wow, Charles Nelson Riley, one of my favorite celebrities from the Match Game. Oh, this is cool. So you pick something that has a little bit of 70s flair to it. Charles Nelson Riley. You can't get more 70s than CNR. This is great. Bic Banana Crayons. Alright, I never heard of these things, but it sounds interesting. Vesper, why are you just grinning as I'm talking here? Vesper, what is going on? Why are you so happy? Why are you laughing? Vesper. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, Charles Nelson Riley for some Bic Banana Crayons. And this must be some jingle. I don't think I've ever seen this commercial, so this is gonna be new for me. Guys, stay tuned. Here we go. Bic Banana Crayons with Charles Nelson Riley, 1973.
Oh, we've gone bananas for Bic Banana Ink Crayons. You'll learn to write a lot of ways. Oh, we've gone bananas for Bic Banana Ink Crayons. Their colors are so bright and gay. Oh, you can learn to color, write smooth lines or fat. Draw a banana and give it a hat. Okay, bunch, you'll go bananas for Bic Banana Ink Crayons. You'll learn to write a lot of ways.
Yes, Charles Nelson Riley really likes big bananas.
Well, it looked like he liked Bic Bananas. He was very happy about it. He was talking about all the stuff you can do with it. Of course he liked it. He was very excited about Bic Banana brand crayons here, yes.
You couldn't have anybody as happy as Charles Nelson Riley.
That's right. He was singing the lyric.
Always gone bananas for Bic Banana Ink Crayons. The colors are so bright and gay.
So yes, of course he's happy. This is great. He's selling crayons as a banana. I mean, come on, you can't get more crazy than that. So anyway, you have a classroom all singing. They're all wearing banana costumes, and he's big head banana leading all the little bananas to the destination that they're all trying to get to. Is that what we're seeing here?
Yes, and the way he's singing, that voice, that accent. I always say this. Do you remember why I said that there's a theme for this?
What's the theme of this? The theme of this is a bunch of bananas singing about some crayons. I don't see what the big joke is here.
Well, my co-host here doesn't quite get it. So yeah, this commercial is really fun. It's over the top. And you know what? You always remember things that are silly and fun. You're not going to forget this commercial or the person who's singing it, because he is definitely the biggest banana.
Unfortunately, the item did not do well. So it's not that the commercial was bad. There was no demand for crayons that did this. Crayola already on the market at this time. Why would you want retractable crayon ink? You didn't need it.
That being said, let's get ready to move on and help Ramses understand the message.
From the late 70s, it's a Charms Blow Pop commercial. Oh, I used to love Blow Pops. Yeah, this is great. The lollipop with the gum in the center, I remember this well. And a jingle for Blow Pops, I didn't know there was one. All right, yeah, maybe it'll come back to me after we see this. So, Vesper, I don't know why you would pick a lollipop, but all right, I guess it has a memorable jingle. We'll find out. We're heading back to the late 70s for Blow Pop here on Vesper's Retro Reviews. Here we go.
Ooh, lollipops, blow pops, ooh, bubble gum, blow pops, ooh, and you can't choose just one. Charms blow pops make it lots of fun. Cause the great Charms lollipops with soft bubble gum, they're made by Charms in lots of juicy flavors. You love everyone. Ooh, lollipops, soft bubble gum, Charms blow pops are two treats in one. Two great American treats in one.
Blow pops from Charms.
Ooh, lollipops, blow pops, ooh, bubble pop, blow pops.
Don't make me ruin this review with having to discipline you for singing during it.
Oh, but I remember now, Vesper. You know why I remember this? Even though I was barely alive in the 70s, I remember this well into the 80s. Yes, this commercial, which started in the late 70s, was played to death in Saturday mornings in the 80s. I remember this jingle very well now that I've seen it again.
And you know what? Just take a moment, look at that.
All right, yeah, they're shoving the lollipops in, they're blowing the bubble gums, things are spurting out of the screen. This is great, wow. And look, the guy's real impressed with the big bubbles that they're blowing. Great.
Yeah, he seems real happy with her.
Well, yeah, he does. And look at how many great flavors they had. So many different flavors to suck. You have the apple and the cherry and the watermelon. I think they even had a grape. This is great stuff. You have the gum inside as you suck harder and harder, and then you get the surprise after it comes out. I think it is wonderful. I see where you're going with this. This is great snacks that you didn't realize happened. So you're going for things that are hidden in something else.
Maybe. You'll eventually get it here in a few minutes, I'm quite certain. This is definitely a commercial that you will always remember. I don't necessarily remember the little jingle to it. This is the visuals of these is what I remember.
Memorable jingles get the message into your head. So they're singing about the gum inside the lollipop because that was the big surprise. It's like, oh, it's not just a lollipop. We actually put a whole piece of bubble gum inside of this lollipop, which I think is a great idea. And Blow Pops are still in the market to this day.
But I do not like the Tootsie Pops.
Oh, I was never a big fan of Tootsie Pops, and that's only because I don't love Tootsie Rolls, the Tootsie Roll. But you have the opposite effect here where you have these very sweet and tasty Charms Blow Pop, but the gum is even tastier by the time you get to that. But the hard part was getting the gum off. Remember how you had to like sort of tug at the stick to get the gum off of it once you got to it?
That's right. You just had to keep going at it hard and long.
Tug at it. You had to use two hands sometimes. One with it in your mouth and the other holding the stick. So it was tough to get it to properly eject itself from the stick properly into the mouth, but it did happen if you did it in the right way. So this is very memorable. I see where you're going with this.
Oh yeah, I think you're slowly getting the idea of what I've done here and putting this wonderful jingles list together. But that being said, I'll let you take a look and see what the next one is.
Now we're going to go for something a little different. Now we're talking about the 70s. The 70s did a lot of stuff that you don't do anymore. So let's see what Vesper picked this time. And it's, an old phone commercial. Now this is very 70s. We don't use the telephone anymore, at least not the old style thick plastic rotary dial push one. Those were the old school. But Bell Telephone, which is what became AT&T eventually, was one of the biggest companies that was doing telephone service at the time. So I do remember this jingle. This is the late 70s, I believe, let's see, 1979. It's called Reach Out and Touch Someone. Reach out and touch someone. And the idea was you picked up the phone and dialed someone, so you were reaching out to get the phone and you were touching someone because, oh, now you can hear my voice. So that was a very famous, long-running ad campaign for the Bell Telephone Company. Let's see which one Vesper picked. This is going to be very interesting.
Your audience is ready, so put on your dancing shoes. Reach out and touch someone.
Reach out and turn them upside down. When you have a great day, reach for the phone and share the occasion with people back home. Reach out and touch a winning smile.
Reach out and touch someone far away. Give them a call.
So that's great. You know, that brought back so many memories because it's so over-the-top ridiculous. Look at all these people on the phone while they should probably be doing other things. They're all on the phone. So she's tap dancing, which is ridiculous. This guy's dancing, again, ridiculous. And then we have
yoga.
And then a guy in his stirrups on the phone. And we have an equestrian. And then an army guy on the payphone. And what else? Oh, barber's laughing. And the guy's bald. Why is he getting a haircut in the first place?
I love the fact that the hockey player dad has no front teeth and his son has no front teeth either. So before I give my thoughts on this, so what type of message am I sending out with this?
Well, you're sending out the message that anyone who had a phone was able to get in touch with anybody very quickly. You picked up a phone, all you had to do was reach out and touch someone. So you grabbed them real hard, you just took a touch of them, and you're like, I'm reaching out to you, I just dialed the phone, and now you're mine, and I got you, and I'm not letting go of you until you get
That's
me
right, you just reach out there, you grab a hold of someone, and you just don't let go.
That's right, reach out and touch someone.
But now that Ramsey's slowly starting to get the picture, I'm going to say that this is actually another one of those wonderful commercials where they get a whole array of musicians and singers, and you just have this grand play trying to tell you that, hey, reach out and touch someone.
Yeah, I love when the songs and the jingles that we pick here just get so over the top. And everybody, and that's everyone in this commercial, is excited and happy because they're on the phone. I'm like, wow, even the people on the payphone who are paying a fortune to tow this thing before the phone bill comes, and like, wow, we spent that much for long distance. Because don't forget, in the 70s, long distance wasn't as easy as it is today. Long distance was actually very expensive back then. So when you're making all these long distance calls, you got the bill and it was like $100. In the 1970s, that's a lot of money, you know?
Yeah, I know. When it's so long, you just have to reach out and grab them with two hands.
Alright, so now we're going to head back to the late 70s, because the late 70s seemed to have very memorable jingles. They were really getting creative in the commercials as we're getting into the 80s. So this will be for Freshen-Up gum. And that's an interesting one that Vesper picked. There's so many different gum advertisements with jingles that we could have picked. But for some reason, he said this one is just right for the message that he's trying to send for the 70s. Freshen-Up, 1978. Here we go. Let's see how this one turns out.
Hey, what do you love about Freshen-Up gum?
Love that squirt.
What do you love when you bite into one?
Love that squirt.
Freshen Up freshens breath with a tingly liquid center. One bite squirts refreshment all over your breath.
Freshen your breath with Freshen Up. Your gum that goes squirt.
Love that squirt.
Oh, Freshen Up gum. Yes, I remember Freshen Up. They don't make it anymore, by the way, so you're not going to be able to find this anymore. It wasn't like made by Wrigley's. It was made by a small company, but this was great. You chewed into it, and then you got like a little surprise that just exploded in your mouth. It was great. Once you put it in, you chewed on it, and then boom, you hit it right in your mouth.
Yeah, you got that squirt. Now, I do have to ask you this, Ramses. I never had any Freshen Up gum. Did you have any?
I did have Freshen Up gum, yes.
Did you enjoy the surprise?
Well, love that squirt. Remember? Love that squirt. That's part of the commercial. It wasn't really a surprise, though. I was sort of expecting it. So, you know, Vesper, I don't see what's so funny. This is a chewing gum commercial. Vesper, stop laughing. This is a commercial. Let's compose yourself here. We're supposed to be professionals here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me about that. I'm glad you like that squirt. But that being said, this is definitely one of those commercials that probably didn't age that well. Especially with that nice sailboat that says, love that squirt.
Well, what's wrong with love that squirt? You get a nice surprise when you put something in your mouth? Why is that so horrible? Love that squirt. and then it explodes into you. I don't understand what the big deal is. Vesper, you're laughing again. I don't know what he's talking about, folks. It's a nice jingle, and I like all the strange voices they do. Like, you have the guy in the megaphone, and then he's like, wah, 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 and then she's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they do all these funny voices as it's going on. I like how it's trying to be orchestrated, but you can pretty much tell these are like sort of voiceovers. I don't think these are their voices singing this song.
Well, I also love the fact that the girls, when they try it, when they're like, I love that squirt.
Yeah, they are having like eye-bursting reactions just because a little bit of sugar is bursting into their mouth. I think that is hilarious.
But as far as Jingles goes, this one isn't too spectacular. It doesn't really stand out, but the message it gives is what stands out.
Well, she's even sailing away on a sailboat that says, love that squirt. I mean, I'm so happy I chewed this piece of gum. I'm going to put it on the sail of my sailboat as I sail away into the distance. Love that squirt. I mean, it's such a great tagline. I remember Freshen-Up gum, not one of my favorite gums, but it was different. You really didn't get gums that had like a little surprise in them like that. So that was kind of a cool idea. The problem with this is, though, once you got the squirt, the flavor sort of wore off. That was the whole big deal. The gum, you had the little flavoring inside, but once that was gone, the gum had no taste to it anymore.
Not all these wonderful gum brands are meant to last, like Bubblicious and other things like that.
We're going to move on to the next one, and let's see what Vesper has chosen this time. Vesper, why are you going to Colgate? So it's a Colgate commercial here, and it's from 1978. I told you, 1978 has some of the best commercials in this decade, but I don't think of cleaning my teeth after, I don't know. Well, let's see what he picked here. All right, he's being quiet again. He's just grinning. All right, let's see why Vesper chose this one. Again, he didn't inform me on the ones he's picking. I'm sorry, folks.
The smile on your face is there because you know that your mouth tastes great. And you know that your breath is fresh because the clean in your mouth is Colgate.
Colgate's zingy taste is rated #1 among fluorides by parents. And Colgate has MFP fluoride. It's unbeaten for fighting cavities. Fresh mouth and fluoride. That's Colgate.
There's a twinkle in your eye and a smile on your face, and the clean in your mouth is Colgate.
All right, so we got cling in your mouth, and they're happy, and their breath is fresh, and the kid. I don't understand why. This is not a very memorable jingle. I mean, this is just a very simple Colgate fresh breath commercial, which I get, but I don't understand what's going on in this commercial that's so important to the message you're trying to say.
This is the most important part of the message, because after everything that we've done, you want to have a nice clean mouth.
Well, that's true. I did mention that you're shoving things in your mouth, things are bursting in your mouth, things are exploding in your mouth, and you're holding things in your mouth. Now we're going to clean you up with Colgate, and boy, do they make Colgate look good. You have little kids enjoy it, you have adults enjoy it, you have even bodybuilders showing off to each other enjoying it. This is great stuff. I can't imagine using anything but Colgate to clean my mouth after all this dirtiness has been in it.
It literally tells you straight up, if you want a clean mouth, use Colgate, and everybody uses Colgate.
Yeah, the clean in your mouth is Colgate. Another famous tagline. Colgate really was going strong with being competitive to Crest. It was Colgate and Crest, Colgate, Crest, and you can see that they're really trying hard. They're doing a simple song, but it's also memorable. Like, I can imagine, again, that song being trapped in your head as you're thinking, what toothpaste should I buy? Well, if I want the clean in my mouth, I want Colgate because that's ADA approved and it's also fresh and has the fluoride that I need. It just makes no sense because all the situations have nothing to do with Colgate. Like, we have their riding motorcycles, but how long since they brushed their teeth? That must have been hours ago, so they're kissing each other, but the toothpaste long wore off by the time they're doing that. And they're working out, but you're all sweaty and disgusting, so how would that matter if your teeth are clean or not?
I guess it's just trying to tell you that before you do anything with your mouth, use Colgate. A very wonderful little commercial, simple and straight to the point.
All right, I like that, Vesper. All right, so there should be one last commercial in our 70s celebration here.
Wait a second, Ramses. Before we move on, I want you to take a moment. I'm going to elaborate on this message because you just quite didn't get it. Now, take a moment and think about that and why Colgate is significant to this.
Oh, let's see. Vesper, that's terrible. What is it? What is he trying to do? We run a very clean and respectful show here. I don't like where this is going. Vesper, this is terrible. I am sick to my stomach. I am upset.
Hey, you know what, Ramses? I knew you would be, so I came up with this next commercial to help you.
Oh, good. All right, so we're going to get... this is terrible, Vesper. How could you put me through this? That's not what the 70s is all about. Give me another commercial. Oh, all right. Well, now this is more like it. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Now, that's going to really make my stomach feel better because I am not feeling well at all, and nothing...
Oh, yeah, especially those wonderful remarks about that blow pop.
That's right. I don't want to be quoted on that because I had no idea what you're talking about at the time. This is ridiculous. From 1976, my stomach is all in knots now. I really do need this. I need a good alcohol. I can't believe this. I mean, can we remove that stuff in the blowout? This is terrible. How did you make me...
You worked too hard, you ate too much, the cheesecake made you greedy. Let your aching head and stomach hear this message from old Speedy. Alka, Seltzer, Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Plop, Plop, Fizz, Fizz, oh, what a relief it is. Those Speedy bubbles relieve your upset stomach and headache fast. For acid indigestion alone, Alka Seltzer Gold. Oh, what a relief it is. What a relief.
So, do you feel any relief?
A little bit. Alka-Seltzer does hit the spot, folks. Even the guy singing this, yes, it made me feel a little better. Drink it off. You'll feel better after this. After everything that he put me through, this is exactly what the stomach needs. A good
Actually, I
Alka-Seltzer.
think what you really need is something a little harder than Alka-Seltzer to forget why I just put you through.
Yeah, well, never mind that. I think we should talk about this commercial because this is actually a very impressive commercial. This was Speedy, the Alka-Seltzer guy, and he was what? He wore the tablet on his head and a tablet on his stomach, and then when it plop plop fizzes, because that's what happened. When you drop an Alka-Seltzer or two into a cup, it starts to fizz, and that's how you know it's working. The fizzing action, how you know Alka-Seltzer is working. It's blending with the water, you see. And he's even using an umbrella to block the bubbles, see?
That is true. It is actually quite an impressive commercial when you get down to it, because you don't see many in the 70s using too much stop-motion animation anymore. That was more of a 50s and 60s thing.
And it's such an effective campaign. Why? Because it's simple. You plop two of these things in, that'll help your relief in your stomach that's upset, or the the antacids and all that. And the jingle's just great too. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is.
Oh yeah, if you've ever heard this, you will remember it till the day you die, just like I do. The best part about was the lead up to the jingle for me was the rhymes he did. Probably one of the most effective of all the commercials we've seen here in our look back at the 70s Part 2 commercials.
Yeah, I agree with that, Vester. This commercial, being one of our last ones, is a great way to go out because when you think of classic retro commercials, this is the one that probably comes to a lot of people's mind. It was such a simple product, but it was all about selling it in the proper way, and a song like this does it. What a great commercial this really is, and oh, what a relief it is, as they say. But that's it, Vester. So I think we're finally done.
Oh, no. We're going to have our final little mystery commercial.
Oh, no, Vester, you're not going to use Oscar Mayer wieners all of a sudden. Is that where we're going with this?
No.
Here we go, the last commercial of our 1970 celebration part 2, and I have no idea what it is. It's the mystery ad. We like to end with a mystery commercial that he does not let me know what it is, and I'm hoping it's good, or otherwise he's not going to hear the end of this from me. So he better behave himself. Here we go. Let's see what he picked this time.
We start with good fresh chicken, like we know we should.
11 herbs and spices, make it finger-licking good. We use fresh chicken, not frozen.
It's the Colonel's secret recipe that makes it taste so good.
Not chopped or rolled or frozen, it's chicken, nothing more. And that's a real good reason smart folks come through our door.
I'm coming in more and more for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's so nice to feel so good about a meal, so good about Kentucky Fried Chicken.
It's nice to feel so good about a meal.
It's so nice.
Wow, Vester, all right. 1978 Kentucky Fried Chicken. But I still see what you did here. You're still trying, Vester, and it's not going to work. I know what you're trying to do.
Hey, it's finger-licking good, right?
Right. And it feels so nice after all this. That's why.
I mean, look at the expression on Colonel Sanders' face there.
He looks like he's about to pass out. What do you mean the expression? The guy looked half dead.
Look how many of them were there with him. I tip my hat off to Colonel. He can handle that entire restaurant.
Imagine walking to a KFC and they all start dancing and singing and doing production lines. They're all grinning. They're all smiling. Their eyes are bugging out. And then you have Colonel just waving his finger as they're all dancing and silhouetted around him. It's a wonderful thing. Imagine this actually happening in a fast food place.
Well, my thing is like, if you look at their expressions, you'd want to eat that food too. They're like full of energy. They're about ready to explode. And they're so efficient. They don't get dirty. They don't get flour on them. They don't get grease. Even the customers just look into the thin air and talk to nobody.
Right, yeah, she's just looking at nobody. Like they said, I'm going to come back more often. It's like, all right, who is she talking to? Why is she randomly saying this? The girl's like waving, like, yes, my mom has gone crazy. I'll see you later, as they're walking out of the restaurant. But who are we to call the mother crazy? Who sings around the Colonel here to do silhouettes and bouncing boxes around him? I mean, it's crazy. And do you notice how robotic they were? Like, they're putting the chicken into the boxes, and it's so mechanical, like they're on a conveyor belt as they're doing it.
They are definitely into it. Look at that guy right there. He's just like,
it's the best chicken ever. Now, we have to mention something important about this. There's a famous celebrity, actually, who is the main female singer in this. I'll bet you didn't realize that, because this is 70s. Deborah Klinger is actually in this commercial. Did you realize that?
No, I don't. And I don't even know who Deborah Klinger is.
Oh, brother. We're a retro show. We gotta explain this. Deborah Klinger was a member of the Klinger Sisters, which was a lot of singers in one group. They were on Danny Kaye, they were on the Smothers Brothers. They were very big performers. So, of course, she's singing because she's a singer. So, and she was also all over the place, Klinger. She was on all those 70s and 80s shows, like you name it. Love Boat, Heart to Heart, American Girl. I mean, she was all over the place. Late 60s all the way to the early 80s, she was on TV and shows. So that she's finding herself in a 76 KFC commercial is actually a big deal.
Absolutely.
And we'll leave it at that, folks, because I think I've had enough of our trip back to the 70s for now. But I guarantee you there will be a part 3 because the 70s has so many commercials to choose from, especially with Jingles. It's been so much fun to go back to the 70s, and I hope you enjoyed our look back at the 70s here on Vestige Retro Reviews.
We hope you enjoyed our show this time, and are probably some of the funnest commercials you'll see for quite a while.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and please
ring that bell
so we can bring you many more of This Came From the Future.
And you know what? You can ring my bell.
No, Vestige, just stop with that. Stop. Enough. Let's end this now. We'll see you all next time, Vestige Retro Reviews. Goodbye, everybody.